The Central Bureau of Investigation has given a list to the special CBI court wherein it has declared as to the number of witnesses it is not relying in. Unreliable is what it says. I'm joined by Indrani Mukerjea, lawyer in this case. So what exactly is this list of unreliable witnesses?
See, there was a list of witnesses that the Central Bureau of Investigation or any prosecution agency submits while filing the charge sheet of any matter or a criminal trial. And there are certain witnesses that they either drop or even they have been referred to or relied upon then, they do not rely upon now because they don't want to examine those witnesses.
Okay.
So during Indrani's bail, just for the sake of opposing that bail application, the CBI had made a statement before the Honorable Supreme Court that half of the witnesses will be dropped and therefore the trial will be expedited and therefore there is no need of granting her bail or letting her out on bail. So based on that, we filed an application here before the Honorable Sessions Court to direct the CBI to furnish a list of witnesses that the Central Bureau of Investigation or the prosecuting agency does not rely upon or does not intend to examine. Pursuant to that, after a lot of delay, today they have filed a list of witnesses, about 23 witnesses list that has been filed, which the CBI has named that it is a list of witnesses unrelied upon in RC 12S 2015 as Annexure A.
I just want to know about the names that are there.
See, the primary names that come in this particular list are the then Honorable Commissioner of Police, Mr. Rakesh Maria, the then Senior Police Inspector of the Khar Police Station, Mr. Dinesh Kadam, who was the investigating officer of this matter. Then there is Mr. R.D. Shinde. I believe he was the then Superintendent of Police of Raigad in 2012. And then Mr. Satyanarayan, who is the Joint Commissioner of Police. They all had their respective roles to play in the investigation at the relevant time when this matter came to light, right? But the CBI has dropped them as witnesses in this entire list, and the reason that they don't intend to examine them, only the Central Bureau of Investigation or the prosecution can say. But having said that, today when two witnesses were examined...
In fact, I wanted to know about this is to, out of the 250 or so witnesses who are supposed to be called in this, so technically 86 have been called until now. More than 20 of these drop. So that does reduce the number of witnesses who will now be called. But of those witnesses who have been called, how many have turned hostile?
About 2 or 3 witnesses have turned hostile here, Vidya. And today's was an important witness, Ms. Sheba Siddiqui. She was a punch witness where the identification parade of Indrani Mukerjea in the Baikala Women's Prison was conducted by a witness called Sandeep Patil, who is the only witness who places Indrani at that particular scene in that village.
Who is said to have seen Indrani Mukerjea in pain while disposing
and who very dramatically remembered everything
2012.
in 2012. So that was quite an irony. But he had also during his cross-examination admitted that he had seen Indrani before on television before he came to the prison to identify her. So that refutes his testimony. The important part is Sheba, on the last occasion when she was called here to depose, we had observed that the CBI officer was every now and then going and pressurizing and pointing at Indrani. And today in the cross-examination, I specifically asked her that is it correct to say that you were called to CBI office 2 or 3 times for the purpose of tutoring you or preparing you to depose before the Honorable Court? She says, yes, it is correct. She was called to the CBI office. The second thing is we asked her that a particular officer, Mr. Rohit Bharadwaj of the CBI who was present in the court on that day, whether he had come out of the courtroom where you were sitting when another witness was deposing and had specifically informed you and showed you Indrani Mukerjea, because she did not know who Indrani Mukerjea was. So he had showed you Indrani Mukerjea and asked her specifically to tell the court that this was the particular woman who was identified by Sandeep Patil during the test identification parade. And third, that she was specifically asked to lie before the court, but she said that I will not lie and I will speak the truth, and she was pressurized to depose before the court by the CBI. Now, what requirement or what is the purpose of all of this? I don't get it. But there was, it seems that that time it was a conspiracy hatched to frame Indrani in this matter, and that is now unearthed.
Okay. So in this case, when is the next date of hearing? What really happens? The more witnesses to be brought.
A formal date has been kept on the 20th of this month, right? And thereafter, this matter will be heard on 5th. On 20th, the CBI will give a list of more witnesses if they have to bring, or who are the witnesses, so that we can prepare for that. And on the 5th, we will be examining those witnesses.
Indrani, just one last question to you is, in the last many years, you have been saying that you're still looking for Sheena. As the case progresses, where do you see it heading? Do you really think that, your fight for looking for Sheena will still go on?
I will continue to look for her. That is my personal fight. But today I think is a day I feel it's a day of victory, because I have been saying this from day one, okay, that obviously somebody wanted me to be in prison. I don't know who that somebody is. But the very fact that CBI's own witnesses have come and deposed here, and it's not one, several witnesses have come and deposed, that they've been pressurized to make these statements, is a very big victory for us. And over and above that, also the very fact that Dinesh Kadam from Mumbai Police, who was the investigating officer who had allegedly arrested Chamvar Rai and then was in charge of the case, and Rakesh Maria, under whose kind of surveillance this entire case was, and who had personally interviewed and interrogated the accused, is declared as unrelied upon, is very telling. So there is nothing more I have to say. So it's a big victory. So if the prosecution themselves don't rely on the investigating officer or the commissioner of police, so it is a clear understanding and a very clear message going out that I was very, very wronged all along, and this should not have happened to me. And I think now it is time that I have gone through this entire media trial for no fault of mine, and now since all of this is unearthed today, I think media should also take its stand honestly to fight for my rights and to fight for justice for me. I think that is very important. That is the role I would expect, as a media person, for the media to take up that stand. I think that is very important.
Thank you so much. So that was Indrani Mukerjea and her legal team saying that, the latest list of 23 people that CBI has handed out to the court would really mean that a lot of these officers who were associated with the case will no longer be brought to the court for deposing here. With cameraman Sunil Vidya in Mumbai, Vidya for India.